If you're just joining us, I'll be right with everyone. I'm just trying to work out the kinks to something, and we'll get the party started. Okay, close that out. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Back to my courses. Come on, done. All right, let's see if that worked. Polls and quizzes. I know it says 25. Okay, that looks right. Okay. All right, let's close this out. Let me share my screen. Start the broadcast. Optimize. All right. Hopefully we got this worked out. Okay. So I know that everybody's not here. Let me join. Let me see. And that took way too long to load right there. Don't connect the audio and join. Okay. All right. And let's kind of, let me think. I'll just have it here for now. Okay, cool. All right, gentlemen. So welcome. One, I hope everyone is doing well. Hopefully you're enjoying your homecoming. I would encourage each of you to try to maximize the experience. I want to say that like homecoming at HBCU was a unique experience, right? I feel like I guess everybody has a unique experience because even if you went to a different school, that experience would be unique as well. But I don't know. But you know, being at a HBCU, just try to maximize your experience, try to have some fun, but be sure that you do what you need to do. So give me just a moment. All right. So today I want to kind of do something a little bit different. I don't know if you're gonna like it or not. This is my third attempt at this. It's been kind of hit or miss all day, but we're gonna give it a go. So my plan for today is I'd still like to go through the homework, go through as many homework questions together as we can, but to try to force the hand of to improve class participation a little bit better. What we're gonna do is whenever we have a multiple choice question, what it is, I have a poll. I have 25 questions on in Zoom, so I'm going to open it up later. And so for each question that we do a poll, you want to submit it via Zoom, but don't submit it until we finish. Don't hit the submit button, because if you hit the submit button, you're going to be locked out. And so what it is that you have to get at least 50% of the questions correct. So say we only do 4 multiple choice questions by the end of class, you got to get at least 2 of the 4 correct. So that way I'm trying to thwart people just hitting random buttons for participation. I want you to actively think and be aware. And it's not even as simple as just going with the majority, because, eerily, the majority is not always right. Sometimes I think that you guys are get it, and then the majority be wrong. I'm what's going on? Sometimes even I get them wrong, right? So again, for attendance credit today, as we go through the homework questions, whenever we have a multiple choice, you got to submit that result in Zoom. But don't submit the whole quiz until the end of class, right? Because if you submit it early, then it's gonna boot you out, and I'm not gonna be able to get you back in. Okay. All right. So for me, this is a version 3.0 or whatever. Okay. So let's hop into our assignments and. Let's hit generate here. We're going to start with question. Okay, that's fine. We can start with question 3. Okay, this is the 3 p.m. And as always, if you have questions or if anything isn't clear, feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, we're going to section 2.1 is where we left off, right here. So again, if you're just joining us late, we are doing attendance credit, but basically, you know how when we're reviewing the homework and I have those polls, you have to get however many questions we do together, you got to get at least 50% of them correct. So if we do 8 questions, you got to get 4 of the 8 correct. Okay. So we're going to start with question 3, and let's see how it goes. Is this a poll question? Let's see. This is one. Okay. Matter of fact, maybe we can leave that there. Let's see. Does that help with it at all? Somewhat. And like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is drag this over here. So again, when it comes to the poll, don't hit submit until the end of class. Like the last 10 minutes, I'll tell you how to finish, how to submit it. So, but for right now, you're just trying to log your answers. Okay. Let me go to the polls. And again, you got to get 50% to get attendance credit. Let's launch the poll. So this is question 3, right? So in the poll, you want to scroll to question 3, right? So that's how we're going to keep log of it. And on my end, I'm going to give some details, but I don't intend to give the answer. So I think you can like change things around. Let me see. Yeah, so we're not hitting submit, but you can do multiple answers. I mean, you can kind of shift your answers around. And we're going to submit it the last 10 minutes of class, okay? And so this is logging. Okay. So, let me see. Oh, so I can't see it until you guys hit submit. Interesting. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. So I can't see it until the end. No, I'm still working out the logistics of how to get this thing to work properly. Okay. So I'm not going to see the feedback. Darn it. How did I do it before? I don't think this is going to work for me. Okay, so we are doing it. So this is for attendance today, right? Hang tight, because I might not go with this one. Okay, I'm gonna try it. We'll try it. So again, the poll is open in Zoom. And we're not gonna submit until the last 10 minutes of class. So you just gotta like log your answers. And what I'll do is I'll try to stop going through questions in the last 10 or 15 minutes of class, and then I'll show you how to submit this poll, and we'll try to tally to give people credit. So for right now, I'll just leave that as is. So you want to go to question 3. Now it says choose the graph that represents the function. And again, don't submit it right now. Just choose the correct answer. On my end, I'm not going to submit. I'm not going to show the answer. Let me see. Choose a graph that represents this function. So now we have a quadratic function in standard form, right? So things that we've talked about in this form, it identifies our vertex, right? So we can quickly identify a vertex. It should be, let me see. And if anybody feels like they want to explain it out loud, like I don't want to say the answer, but if somebody is confident and wants to say the answer, then, or if somebody wants to explain it, you're welcome to. But on my end, I don't intend to say the answer. Right. So again, this is question 3. Now,
tomorrow's Thursday. I can't.
What happened? Okay. So this is in standard form, right? We can quickly identify the vertex. Okay, let me see. So I think there's only one. Let me see. And let me see. Yeah, I think there's only one graph that has the vertex in the right position, right? Okay, so I'm not going to submit the answer right now, but on your end, you just want to highlight the correct answer. We're not submitting it just yet. You should be able to hit close, but you should not be able to submit it. So on your end, in the poll, you want to go to question 3 and just highlight whatever answer you think is correct, and then just leave it. Okay, so we're going to come back to that question. Let me screenshot it, and we'll fill it in later, I guess. Okay. So I'm gonna leave that open ended, and let me get rid of that. Generate, and now let's go to question 15. Okay, I'm not filling this. So what I'm gonna do is move you here. Okay, that's fine. And I know you can't submit it, and that's okay. Let's go to question 15. Now we don't really need all this. So question 15. So then for your poll, again, we're going to scroll to question 15, but don't submit it, because you gotta wait till the end to submit it. So I'm not going to be able to see you all's responses. So let me get rid of that since I can't see it. Okay. So for question 15, we're just going to this is only a 50-50, right? So question 15 is either A or it's B. It says a quadratic function is given below, and we're asked to determine whether the function has a maximum value or minimum value. Again, I don't intend to give the answer. Let's see, can I? That would be nice if I can see that. That's okay. But what you want to do is go down to question 15. I'll use that as my timer. Go down to question 15 and highlight this. We'll only take the multiple choice for the first part. Is it A, this function has a minimum value, or B, this function has a maximum value? Now, again, if one of you all want to explain, and explain why it's the right answer to convince your classmates. Which I'm not. I know you're saying something, but I don't know what you're saying.
To talk for available.
Say that one more time. Okay, I'm not sure if he's talking to me or not. Okay, anyway. Okay, so yeah, you want to go to question 15. So now the function is, we got f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 8. We want to know, does it have a minimum value or a maximum value? Or part A, you're saying that it has a minimum value. Part B, you're saying that it has a maximum value. So, and I will say this, we can use the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient gives us information about the shape of this quadratic. If the leading coefficient is positive, that means something about the shape in which way it opens, and then that means we either have a max or a min. If the leading coefficient is negative, that says something about which way it opens, right? Either it opens up or down. And then depending on which way it opens, that tells us if it has a max or min. This one has blank leading coefficient, so it opens blank. So then it should have a blank value. Okay. So then it should be blank. Okay, so I'm highlighting my answer for that one. Okay, so now we should have two answers highlighted, but you should not be able to submit it. So we're going to kind of let that be for now. Okay, and we're going to kind of move forward. Let me screenshot this one so I have a copy of it. I know that this is one that we did together that I need to kind of go back and check. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now, and we're going to go to the next one, or another one. Okay, let's go to question 17. So now I scroll to question 17. Let me see, that was 15, so 16, 17. And so let me see, if I want to get out at 3:45, so when we get to about 3:30, so that's only about 15 more minutes, 15, give or take, maybe a little more, maybe 15 or 20, right? So this one's not multiple choice. So, you're off the hook on this one. Solve the given quadratic inequality by sketching the graph of the corresponding quadratic function. That's fine. So they want us to sketch the graph. We can use the vertex formula to identify the vertex. So I'm going to click to enlarge the graph. I'm going to click on my parabola tool. Now, to quickly find the vertex, to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, we can use negative b over 2a. Negative b over 2a, right? So negative b is going to be negative 8 divided by 2. So it's 8 divided by 2. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 4. So then when x is 4, I'm just going to kind of click for right now. I'm just clicking on two random points. I'm going to move them momentarily. So when x is 4, what's the corresponding y? So 4 squared is 16. 8 times 4 is what, 32? So 16 minus 32 is a negative 16. Plus 15 is a negative 1. So we should be at the point, tag on it, negative b over 2a. So 4 negative 1. So I'm going to drag this point to 4 negative 1. Okay. So that's one point. Then we need to find another point on the graph. Let's do when x is 3. All right. So all I did was step to the left by 1. When x is 3, let me see. We get 9. 8 times 3 is what? 24. That would be what? 14, 15. Negative 15. So look, it's a 0. So when we went one step to the left, we were at 0. So it looks like these are the 2 points. Okay. So this one isn't for attendance credit. I think I'm gonna just go with it for now. Y-intercept is a positive 15. That looks good. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we are doing something a little bit different today. All right. So let me go ahead and check this one real quick. Okay. So let me finish this question and then we'll talk about it. So this question, where it asks us, when is this quadratic positive? In other words, when is it above the x-axis? So now that we have the graph, we got x-intercepts of, it looks like 3 and 5, right? So it's above the x-axis to the left of 3 and to the right of 5. All right. So then the solution to this inequality we want all points that are left of 3 and right of 5. Okay? So then the far left is going to be negative infinity up to 3. Since we want to be strictly greater than 0, we're going to use the parentheses. I'm going to say cup, which is a union, and then from 5 to infinity. So whenever we are left of 3 or right of 5, we're above the x-axis. Right? So that's, that's how we get it. Okay. Let's see if this next question is fair game for our attendance credit for today. So the next question, let's generate. We're going to go to question 12. So this was 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay. All right. I'll count this one. So on your end, what you want to do is scroll to question 12 again. We haven't submitted just yet. We're still going to kind of work on this for another little over 10 minutes. But you want to go to question 12 and highlight which one you think is the correct answer. All right. So if we go to question 12, and we're only going to let the multiple choice refer to the first part. So you got a 50-50. If you just guessed either A or B, then, you can guess it. It says for this equation, for the first part, determine whether the graph opens up or does it open down, right? And so the way we determine that, we're going to use the leading coefficient, right? If, the leading coefficient is positive, that tells us something about which way it opens. If the leading coefficient is negative, that tells us something about the way it opens. For right now, I might even just let this be a free one just to keep moving forward. Okay. So this one essentially, it'll be free points. I'm trying to think if I want to do that because I do kind of want to talk about this other stuff. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll let it be free points for now. All right. So if you're paying attention, you got that one. So then the vertex of the problem, because I do want to talk about this stuff. So we did do the vertex of the. I kind of gave you the answer for number 12, so you can do that with whatever you see fit. And keep in mind that, again, if you're joining us late, anytime any of these questions that have multiple choice, for however many multiple choice we do for the day, you got to get at least 50% of them correct. So, like, if we end up doing, I don't know, 6 multiple choice questions, then to get 50%, you would need to get at least 3 of them correct. If we did 7, how many would you need to do to get? How many would you need correct, in order to get it? Right? Because 3, I don't think is 50%. Right? Anywho, so the vertex of this parabola. So the vertex is the x-coordinate is negative b over 2a. So negative 6, which is going to be positive 6 divided by 2 is a 3. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 3. So then we want to take that 3 and plug it into the original. Right? So then we get 9 minus 18 is negative 9, minus 7 is negative 16. I think it's a negative 16. Okay. Hey, Google, what's 3 times 3 minus 6 times 3 minus 7?
3 times 3 minus 6 times 3 minus 7 is minus 16.
Okay. We're going to go with that. Okay. So then the axis of symmetry, once we have the coordinates of the vertex, the axis of symmetry of the parabola is going to be the x-coordinate of the vertex. Okay. Okay. So again, I think we've done about a total of about 3 different questions that have multiple choice. You should not, nobody should have submitted it so far. I kind of designed it so that you can't submit it. You have to, like, on purpose do something to get it submitted. And I'm going to explain how to submit it in about 10 minutes. So right now you should just have 3 questions highlighted. Maybe you should be writing, taking some notes so that way in case you make a mistake, you can shift things around. And again, in about 10 minutes or so, I'll explain how we're going to submit this for credit. What are the x-intercepts? So, okay. Can we factor looking for 2 numbers that multiply to give us a negative 7? Okay, yes, it looks like we can factor this guy, right? So let me see. The x-intercept, we would set y to 0 and solve. So again, you don't have to worry about this. You can just kind of be passive for right now. 1 is positive. So I'm trying to factor this. Okay. 1 is positive and 1 is negative. Okay. 2 numbers that multiply to give us a negative 7 and add to give us a negative 6, I think, are what? Negative 7 and 1. Okay. That times that is negative 7. That plus that is negative 6. And then So then we go to find x-intercepts. That means that when x is -1 or x is +7, those are our x-intercepts. So -1 and 7. So -1, comma 7. Okay. -1, comma 7. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. Okay. And so the idea, let's go ahead and do this last question. The y-intercept, so for the y-intercept, we set x to 0. If we set x to 0 and solve, we get -7. So let me just submit -7. Okay. And then we're asked to graph. So we have the coordinates of the vertex. I'm going to start there. So the vertex is 3, -16. 3, -16. So I'm clicking on my parabola tool. I'm going to go right 3 and down 16. What about when x is 2? Or when x is 0, what do we get? When x was 0, we got -7. So we'll let that be our second point. 0, -7. And that's all we need. We just need the vertex and the second point, and we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to hit save and check. Okay. All right, so if you're joining us late, what we're doing here is we're still going through as many of the homework questions together as we can. There is an active poll that's available in Zoom right now. We've answered maybe 3 or 4 questions that were multiple choice. The ones that are multiple choice, at the end of class, I'm going to show you how to submit it. And in order to get your attendance credit for today, you got to get at least 50%. You got to get at least 50% on this. Ooh, I'm going to start using breakout rooms. So again, but yeah, let's kind of keep going. So let's generate 17. Have we done 17? Okay. No, I think we did do 17. I kind of want to do this one, but this one's going to eat up a lot of time. I want to try to get some more multiple choice in there. Let's just do a different question. Let's go to question 5. 4 or 5 is this one. Find a quadratic function of this form that passes through these points. So when x is 2 and y is 8, 2 squared is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So it looks like it takes on the form 2x squared. 2x squared. So what I did there, I just plugged in when x was 2 and y is 8. I solved for a, and then I just plugged that a into the model. Okay. Let's do another general. Let's try this for another 5 minutes or so. Question 14. Let's go to question 14 because I want to try to get some more multiple choice. Okay, this one's 50-50. So on your end, you want to scroll to question 14. And it's only one multiple choice. You got a 50-50 if you were to guess, but chance favors the prepared mind. Does this quadratic function have a minimum value or a maximum value? All right, so you can do that based on the leading coefficient. Okay, so if you think it has a minimum value, you would hit A. If you think it has a maximum value, you would hit B for question 14. Okay, so again, we're not submitting. I'm going to leave that one open because I want to try a different one. Generate. Let's go to question 3. What's the time? We got a solid 5 minutes. Just trying to get more multiple choice. Okay, this is a good one. Have we done this one? If I go to question 3. Oh, we did do question 3, and it should be the same. So if you came late and you haven't done question 3, you might want to screenshot this and then try to answer this one correctly. So again, I'll give you another moment to kind of screenshot. We haven't submitted anything. We've just been highlighting what we think is the correct answer. I guess I might start going in order. Let me go to question 13. So that, well, usually what I do is go to question 4. Let me look at 4 real quick before I go to 13. Okay, so 4 is a multiple choice, right? So you're responsible for this one. Match this function with the correct graph, okay? I'll talk through it. I'm gonna do my best to not give away the answer. So this is a quadratic in standard form, right? Let me see. I mean, I kind of want to zoom in, but I think we're going to lose our images. It's in standard form, so that gives us the coordinates of the vertex, right? So there's a little bit of something you kind of need to be able to do with the vertex. Let me see. Okay. So there's only one question. This is what, question 4? Should be this one. Okay. So let me give some details here, right? So in the standard form of a quadratic, it quickly identifies the vertex. There's a little bit of something you got to do to apply it properly, but you should be able to take that function and identify the vertex. Another tool that you can use, the leading coefficient. Something about the leading coefficient tells us which way the parabola opens, right? So, something about the leading coefficient, you can use that, and once you get that, it'll cut out 2 of the wrong answers off the rip, right? So I'm not gonna reveal the result here, but I gave you some tidbits. One, again, in this form, you can quickly identify the coordinates of the vertex, and then in conjunction with using some information about the leading coefficient, it tells you something else about the shape of the graph. So those 2 pieces of information is enough for you to eliminate all the wrong answers, okay? All right, so let's try to get some more. I think I'm gonna start scanning real quick. I'll just start from the beginning. Have we done 1? 1 is multiple choice. Let's go ahead and do it. Let me see. We have not done it, so let's do it now. Identify the graph of the following quadratic. Again, this is something similar, right? There's something about the leading coefficient that tells you something about the graph, right? So that'll automatically knock out 2 of them. And then maybe try to find the coordinates of the vertex, right? So let me see. I think I see the right answer. I'm going to highlight in Zoom what I think is the right answer. I'm not going to submit the answer here. And we'll take, once I see 330, then we're going to try to tally some of these results. So let's go on to question 2. Okay, question 2. This one is also multiple choice, and it looks like we have not done it. We're going to go ahead and make this the last one. Okay. So identify the graph of the following quadratic. And again, the goal is to get 50%. Okay. Identify the graph of the following quadratic function. Okay, so this is in standard form. If you think about the standard form, it does give you the coordinates of the vertex. Let me see. I think once you have the correct coordinates of the vertex, there's only one of these graphs that has that correct vertex. Okay, I think I see the correct answer, so I'm going to highlight what I think is correct. Where is my second hand? We still got a solid 45 seconds. Let's try to do another one. I know we've worked on 3 already. Let me glance at 4 real quick. I think we did do 4 as well. Okay, we did 4. Let me see, there's 5. Let's look at 6. 6. I'm going to skip it because it's not multiple choice. I'm going to skip that one for now. 8, 9. Can we get one more? I'm just looking for one more. Get one more, please, and thank you. Please and thank you. One more. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. All right, this has multiple parts, but we're just going to let this first part count for our multiple choice and call it a day. So this is question 13. Have we done this one? I feel like we've done this one. Let me check. 12. Okay, we have not done 13, so this will count for our last multiple choice. So given this equation that we're asked, does this parabola open upward or open downward? Let me read off the multiple choice. And I'll say this. I think in class, we said something about putting it in descending power order. That would help out here, right? If you could put this guy in descending power order. Let me zoom in some. Okay. So now this is our last multiple choice. The question is, which way does it open? Does it open upward or does it open downward? Okay, let me highlight what I think is the correct answer. Okay. All right, so now. So does the parabola open upward or downward? If you think it's A, the parabola opens upward because A is positive. Or is it B, the parabola opens downward because A is positive? Is it C, the parabola opens downward because A is negative? Or is it D, the parabola opens upward because A is negative? Okay? All right. So hopefully you got a result there. So now let me walk you through how to submit this, and let's try to see if we can, tally points and generate scores and things of that nature and get some feedback. Okay. So now at the bottom of the quiz, the last two questions, we have to answer the last two questions in order to submit. So you may have tried to submit along the way and it wouldn't let you, right? So then question 26 says, are we in the last 10 minutes of class? For right now, we're just going to say yes, right? So we're just going to put yes. So for question 26, you want to put yes. Oh, I wonder if I can do a password. Oh, anyway. And then for question 27, it says, are you finished with today's quiz? Question mark. How do you feel about your results? So then you, where 0 is, dear Lord, I need some help. And 10 is, I'm confident. Let's go. All right. So I'm going to submit that. So once you answer those last two questions, now it allows you to submit the quiz. So we're going to go ahead and hit, let's go ahead and hit submit now. Once you answer those two questions. Okay. Because I think once you hit submit, it doesn't let you back in. Right? Yeah, that's correct. Okay. And on my end, if I could find this guy. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. So if I go to the polling quiz. Okay. Oh, so two people. Missing two guys. Oh, uh-oh. You got my mercy, right? So again, remember, we have to get, for attendance credit today was getting 50% correct on this. So if you didn't do this, then you're at my mercy, all right? Okay, so let me download these results. See if there's an option before. This is okay, let me think. Okay, I'm gonna hit in the poll. Ooh, I'm tempted to let me hit download the results first. I'm gonna hit download the results. I just want to download. Okay, let me see if I hit share results, what happens. Ooh, okay. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, interesting. You are viewing the poll results shared by the host. Interesting. Okay, now we can check our work. Yes. Okay, I think we can work with this. I'm going to leave that there. Now let's go back and see if we can crunch some of these numbers. Okay, so for instance, question 1. Let's go back to question 1. And we said that result was B. Why does this look like that? Okay. So for question 1, we said the result was B. So let's go with B. Check. Or at least that's what I said. I don't know what you guys have put just yet. So it looks like B was correct. It looks like for question 2, all right. Question 2, I put C. So let's see, and hopefully you can see your results and kind of be checking your work. Okay, C was correct. Question 3, this is interesting. Let's go. Question 3, I put D. Let's see if D is correct. Check. Woohoo! Okay, I think we did 4 as well. Let's go ahead and do 4. On question 4, C is correct. Let's see. Check. God is good. Let's keep going. Nothing with 5. The next one is question 12. Okay, let's go to question 12. I don't know where question 12 is. That's 11. Oh, we finished 12. So yeah, I remember doing that one. We did the whole thing. So we'll go ahead and do question 13. Question 13, we put C. Check. God is good. Okay. That's question 13. Oh, okay. This is interesting. So what it is we can see everybody's results, and then but it tells me what I put. Okay, this is cool. So that makes me feel good. So that means that whoever has been engaged, that means you've gotten them right so far. This is interesting. Okay. So question 14, I put B. I know I got at least one person that put A, and that's okay. All right. You guys are awesome. This is nice. It's not so mundane, right? Vertex, let me see, the vertex of the parabola, negative B over 2A. So 2 over -2, -1 is the x-coordinate. Let me see, that's a -1. 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 4 is 5. Okay. How many parts? E? I probably should not be doing this. Axis of symmetry is the x-coordinate, so that's going to be x equals -1. Okay, nice. X-intercepts. Let me see. Two numbers that multiply give us 4. Nope, we can't do that. So let me do this. I use the quadratic formula. So negative boy, 2, couldn't decide to go to the radical house. Come on, let's go. Come on. Okay. Because he was squared, so b squared, that's going to be a 4. And he missed out on 4. Awesome. A is going to be that. So, check. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was close. Okay. Chicks, which is that. Okay. It was all over by 2 a.m. Come on. It's going to be this. Okay. If we crunch this number, fraction, I'm just trying to finish it out. Plus or minus, let me see. Double negative is positive. 16 plus 4 is a 20. So it's a square root of 20, which is 4 times 5. So that's 2 times the square root of 5. Okay, I think that's okay. Over -2. So then the final answer looks like it is -1 plus or minus the square root of 5. So -1 plus or minus the square root of 5. Okay. Okay, that looks proper. What's my time looking like? Okay, so 10 minutes is correct. Y-intercept, if we set x to 0, we get 4. 4, okay. Graph. Coordinates of the vertex is -1, 5. A parabola tool, -1, 5 is here. Okay. Let me see. So when x is 0, we're at 4. So there's a second point. So that means if we went right by 1, we're at 4. That means when we go left by 1, we're also at 4. So I use my axis of symmetry to generate that third point. Okay, I'm gonna hit save. I feel confident about that. I'm gonna check. Okay. All right, so that was question 13. Let me see. Can we get to 14? I see that we've got a solid 5 minutes. Actually, a little more than that, a lot more than that. For 14, okay, it was kind of split. For 14, I put B. I do kind of want to talk about this one. Let me check. Come on. So, for instance, here, which way does it open? We have a negative leading coefficient. That means the graph opens downward, which means we have a maximum value, right? That was a little bit of visualization there. So we had to use our imagination, right? Use your imagination. So we should do the vertex formula. Negative b over 2a. So double negative is positive. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 4. The corresponding y. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Hey, Google, what's -3 times 16 plus 24 times 4 minus 41?
-3 times 16 plus 24 times 4 minus 41 is 7.
Is 7. Why is she talking so slow? So we got a maximum value of 7. When we let x be 4 from the vertex formula, the output was 7. The range. So that 7 is a maximum value. The range is the very bottom to the very top, right? So then the very bottom is going to be -infinity. The very top is 7. You guys are awesome, right? Oh, come on. Oh, about square bracket, right? Because we actually reached the 7. Okay, let me see. I'm watching the clock. I'm trying to get you guys out of here. That was question 14. 15. Ooh, it was a split on 15. We marked A. I put A for 15. Let me check 15. 15. Again, the leading coefficient is positive. That means the graph opens upward, which means we have a minimum value. So final check. So again, you only get credit if you got it correct. Let me see, negative B over 2A. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. The corresponding Y value is 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Plus 8 is a positive 4. Okay, so I'm just going to put 4 here. Okay. Okay, was 15 the last one? We did 17. It looks like 17 is the last one, I think. Let me see. 17. Oh, I didn't answer it, but you guys did. So let me see. Let me go to 17. Oh, I think we got that one. Cancel. The range. What is that was a minimum value. So the range is 4 to infinity with the square bracket. 4 to infinity. Let's go to question 17. This one. I think we did that one already. I think that was a free one. Wait a minute. I don't know. No, we didn't do 17. That's why I didn't answer it. That wasn't multiple choice. So okay. Okay, let me see. Can I see let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick because I don't want to share you guys sensitive information. Let's close that. Let me stop sharing the screen. I just want to kind of pull up that data real quick just to make sure I can see it. I think this is it. We're gonna see now. This is interesting. Let's see. Multiple choice, yada yada yada. We're missing some guys. That's okay. And okay, I guess I'm assuming this is in order. I can see everything. Nice. You guys are awesome. Okay. So I can see what I submitted. I know I got mine correct. Cool. All right, guys. So I want to say, just when I glanced at the information, it looks like you guys got it for the most part. I can see where some got strayed away a little bit. I even see the extra outlier right there. It's like, that wasn't one, but that's okay. All right, so that means you guys did 10's credit. Are there any questions? You guys did great. That was the best run I've had so far with this little setup. Man, it was a nightmare early. It was all trial and error because like the class right before you all, I tried the same thing, but I didn't lock those questions at the end, so students kept submitting and I couldn't get them back in. I was like, crap. but I kind of built it this way because, when I would do those these little polls or whatever, sometimes students it'd be 2 options and they're putting like F and G. I was like, okay, I got to figure out some kind of way so that they don't choose random questions, because this is for skin in the game, right? Like if you didn't make the 50%, then now you're going to be at my mercy. Then I got to decide, okay, do I want to give this person credit? If we get like 3 unexcused absences, 3 I'll kind of let it slide. But if we get to a 4th unexcused absence, then you could potentially be booted from the course. You may or may not be able to get back in, and that will mess with your money, right? So the best thing is just indulge me, right? Are there any questions, right? But again, when I looked at the data just now for you all look great. I can see everything I needed to see. Are there any burning questions before we go our separate ways? Going once, going twice. I guess I don't need to take any notes. I don't think we wrote anything. Let me see. So let me mention this. So again, we do have a lab component for this course, right? So be sure that you guys are doing the lab. We only meet on Mondays and Wednesdays, right? So I know in like some of my classes, some students come into the Zoom looking for me on Fridays. We don't meet on Fridays. I don't know if that's when you schedule to meet with like Dr. Lamar, my colleague, for the lab or whatever. But as far as our main component, we only meet on Mondays and Wednesdays, right? So you just make sure that like if it's a Friday or something like that, make sure you're trying to get into the right Zoom so you're not missing, a class or whatever. If there aren't any other burning questions, we're actually going to go ahead and end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, have a great homecoming. You guys are awesome. Have a great weekend, and we'll meet back on Monday Same time, same place for the next installment. Take care, gentlemen. Peace. Okay, that was interesting. It actually worked. I'm glad we did that.